How's it going? Welcome back, it's Jonathan. Okay, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at what I would consider to be the most discussed about topic right now, and that is, has Bitcoin found a bottom? And if it has found a bottom, where are we going? And if it hasn't found a bottom, well, where could that bottom potentially be? So we're going to be using the same theory that we used when we were looking for that top in the market. Okay, we're looking for that structure, that breaker structure in the market. We're going to be doing that directly using W.D. Gann's, trend theory analysis. So if you don't know what that one is, or you haven't actually heard me talk about it in the past, what we were waiting for is 11 or more bars in the direction of that trend, okay? So anything between bar 1 and bar 11, we were now analyzing if the trend was sideways, down, or even up. And it was only after we actually got that hit after the 11th bar that we were able to see if the direction actually had confirmed, that bearish or bullish bias. So what you need to do this theory, now, just like anything, if it's all fractals, okay? So you could have 11 bars in the direction of the trend, 11 or more bars in the direction of the trend, with the 12th bar confirming the trend on a daily chart. But I think that it's most important to do this on a weekly chart. So we're going to switch over now to weekly, just so we can get this. And if we look from the top of the market, we see that we had bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we couldn't actually confirm that trend until the Bitcoin market made this break here. And that's when we actually confirm that the market had definitely staged its downward trajectory. Now you might be thinking, well, Bitcoin had already, halved in value by then. We went from that 60,000 down to 30,000. Yeah, sure, it can do that. It can, well, I wouldn't say generally speaking the market will halve in value, but in this instance, Bitcoin did halve in value before we were actually able to get that trend change confirmation. But what that does mean is that, let's say, for example, you were looking for this here. This is a move from about that 60,000 mark down to around that $30,000 mark, but we actually didn't get that trend change. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bars down, roughly, if I counted that right. That means that until we had a break below this bar, in a break below or break above that bar would confirm either direction, okay? So until we had a break below this bar, we definitely weren't in that downward trajectory just yet, and we would actually be waiting further on for that confirmation to occur. So if we go back in time, I did this in the past videos already, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 8th bar, and it's also the lowest bar in this range. So until we got that confirmed downward trend marked by this lowest low, and this is using this data by Coinbase. You might get different data by different brokers. Using Coinbase, this was the absolute low for this period, and until we had that confirmation right here, we couldn't confirm that downward trend, or at least this bullish run was over. And that's just using this theory, okay? If we go back even further, unfortunately there's no data prior to 2015 here. So what we're doing now is we're just reversing that. We're looking for 11 or more bars, so 11 or more bars in the direction of the trend to confirm that trend. So what we have now is we have the lowest low. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this is currently the 10th bar right here. So if we had another bar push higher, making this the 11th bar, for example, and then we had the 12th bar push higher, then that would confirm that the market is in a bullish trend. And we would only be able to reconfirm that the bearish trend was here once we staged 11 or more bars in the direction of the trend. For example, bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. A break below that bar there would have confirmed that the downward trend was still likely on, which it did. It did break lower. We got that, what was that, about 18,000 down to around, I don't know, let's just take a look. 18,000 down to around 15,000, okay? So it was $2,000 loss there still that could have been hit. And that was just using this high here. Of course, if you counted from here, you would have gotten that hit, much sooner, etc. So the same theory applies. We're waiting for that direction bias, and we need to confirm that with 11 or more bars in the direction of the trend. So why 11 or more bars? Well, each time that the market does reverse, and we've seen this in the past. Let's go back. So we had the collapse. And if we zoom in here, this is that 2018 period. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is the highest bar in this range. So we're not confirming this trend until we get a break above the highest high in that range, which is this bar here. Once that bar was broken, we were then able to confirm that the market was likely to push higher. Not definitely, not guaranteed, likely. Again, probability here was likely to push higher. That was using the 2018 run. There's no data here for the 2013 run. So what we can't do is we can't do that same theory. But if we use this low here, for example, 2015, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, etc. This bar bit here being the highest high in that run. So after the break of that, we could get high probability that the market was likely to move higher than it was to move lower. And you might be thinking, well, didn't the market break this low here? Yeah, of course it did. It did break that low. But it broke it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars. And on the 7th bar, the market hit a bottom before it resumed, its upward move. So try to just follow WD Gann's rules, and that's 11 or more bars in the direction of the trend, with the 12th or more bar actually confirming that trend. And I can suggest that you'll have a high probability of success if you just do that. So what do we do from here? Well, it seems that we've got another 2 more bars to equal that, that bullish trajectory. But we do have, if I go into some, other topics here, such as ICT or just price action bias, etc., we do have a string of green bars here before a consolidation, and then its next string higher. There is every possibility that if this consolidation here, let me just draw it again, if this consolidation here was taken out, that we could fill, this, I would say, unfairly valued price action here. There's not a lot of downward moves on these bars here, so a lot of the price action was pushed higher, at least on the daily chart here. So if this is broken, if the market does come down before it stages that 12th or more bar in the direction of the trend, then it is likely that we could be seeing a lot of this range here filled in. Okay, and what do we mean by filled in? Well, just like the market did here, where it strongly ran lower, it filled in about half of it with this bar here, but it completely filled it in over here when the market moved higher. Again, if we move back, we have this strong move down here. The market tried to fill in about half of it before getting around 3/4 up, before filling in most of that move. Again, we have this strong move down here. The market did, fill in at least half of it or so. So the market doesn't generally just bullish in one direction without filling it on the other end. And if we can reverse it, for example, we'll take this whole move as an example. The market did move down, well, let's just see if we can find out how much it did move down. So we have our 50% level here. So filled in half of it, okay? Filled in half of it before reversing again. So we definitely should be able to confidently think, I shouldn't say, but confidently think that the market, if it breaks the structure here, it is likely, it is likely that, we should be looking at least 50% of that range filled in, at least from this low here. And if this is the top, if this is our daily forecasted top, then I would definitely suggest that we would be looking for possibly another touchdown into this range here, possibly into that 50% zone. We could even go down to that 60% zone. I don't think it's going to go much lower than this. But that's only if the bearish side plays out. Now what I'm looking for at the moment is a series of higher highs landing on our time counts. Now I won't be going into the time counts just here, but there are a series of time counts that we have been watching, which have been hitting tops. And my theory is that when these time counts do hit tops, that is generally bearish, and when they hit bottoms, that is generally bullish. I think the time counts are definitely a missing element to the trading, and I've definitely gone into it. I gave perfect examples, I would say. I gave perfect example of what I'm looking for in the market, in our back end, so in our forecasting service. I gave a perfect example of how to use this. So if you're not already watching those videos, jump into that. It's under the 8-part mini series that we do. Yeah, I think that is another element of the markets that shows that the algorithm, if I were to use lack of a better word there, or because a lot of people don't like when I say, oh, human psychology and, you know, momentum's changing, etc. So let's just use what ICT uses, you know. The algorithm is changing, and if, you know, whatever tickles your pickle and that. So that's pretty much it. Do I think the market's moving down? Well, if we get a break above this, then no, because we're definitely getting towards that 12th bar phenomena. But I do think that this market is overstretched and should be falling lower, and we are getting a lot of time count hits on these tops, and that is always, from my experience, always a bearish market momentum. So that's all I have. I do hope this helps you. Again, it's not a buy or sell, you know, video. Don't take anything I take as, like, you know, a signal service. This is just showing you how to implement everything so that you can look at this data yourself, so you can analyze what may occur in the future, and so that you can definitely protect your assets. Again, don't buy or sell on anything I say. This is just a way of using these services. Talk to you soon.